All right, friends, we're starting out in a child's pose. We'll get the low back to kind of open up and the hips to release. Come on down. Nice and easy. We'll take some time here. So let this child's pose be really casual. You might kind of wiggle your hips a little bit, settle down into it. And then remember, you always have the option of taking your knees wider. If this feels really tight and you just can't quite relax, just take your knees wide. And you can also rest your forehead on your forearms. And that makes it a little more accessible. And then once you get comfortable and you've fidgeted everything into place, turn your attention to harnessing that breath, bringing in really big inhales, pressing out really complete exhales. And as always, we're into the practice just by being here for a moment with the breath, allowing yourself to transition. With each inhale, imagine getting as big as you can be, filling all the corners of the room that you're in. With each exhale, imagine compressing yourself into an infinitely dense neutron star. And today, let's experiment with a little breath pattern. Just a tool that we can cultivate. And I want you to use this tool anytime you're feeling stressed or anxious. You can do it while you're driving. You can do it while you're in a Zoom meeting. You can do it in your bed at night. You can do it anytime, anywhere. And it's something that can help ground you and anchor you in this moment and give you the power of just being rooted in the present moment. Okay, so try this. We're going to think of a 3-count inhale and a 6-count exhale. So notice I said count instead of second. And a count is whatever you want it to be. But make it nice and slow. Feel free to adjust it to your needs. Let's go something like this. We'll think of inhale, 2, 3, and then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you get the idea. Let's keep going just like that. And feel free to lengthen it as you need. And eventually, after a few rounds, you'll settle into a nice workable rhythm for you. Continue to use this idea of maximum inhale, maximum exhale. Each inhale is bringing in this fresh, clean potential. And each exhale, you're getting rid of old junk, and that could be in the form of stale energy, thought patterns, behavior patterns. Use your imagination. You know what you need to get rid of. with each round of breath. Your body feels softer and heavier, and you're more able to surrender to gravity. Just allow yourself to be heavy. Take several more rounds of breath, just like this. Through your nose as much as you can. And maybe allow a little smile to play on your lips. Allow a lot of space between your top and bottom jaw. So really let that jaw hang. Take a little time as you continue to breathe and soften and be, to observe your thoughts. No matter what you see, look with compassion without trying to change anything. Imagine that you, on this mat, in this moment, could see yourself as just as much a perfect product of nature as a beautiful bird that you see in your garden or a tree. Okay, no difference between you and your thoughts and that. You wouldn't try to change a bird or a tree. As you're ready, we'll start to walk the hands out a little bit, just beginning to wake up your upper body, okay? And keeping your hips really heavy and keeping your breath nice and big. You can keep this breath pattern and play around with that. See if you can really press down into your fingertips and begin to lift your palms up a little bit more. So I like to call this a tent hand. You're making little tents out of each hand. You're lifting even your elbows, spreading open your armpits away from each other, maybe starting to sway side to side, looking under one armpit, looking under the other armpit, and beginning to twist your upper spine a little bit, your cervical spine. Feeling this movement in your upper back, maybe even down to your middle back. And then let's add a little bit more movement, beginning to link breath to movement. So bring it back to center. Go ahead and ground your palms again and grip the mat. Okay, we call this the tiger claw. So grip down strong on the mat. Pull yourself all the way up to hands and knees. Okay, as you do that, arch your back. I want you to really pull with your hands. Think of pulling your heart up between your arms. Okay, pointing your tailbone up at the ceiling, pulling that belly button in towards your spine so your low back is protected. And with your exhale, press your hips back to that child's pose we were just in, rounding your spine. Let's do that again. Inhale, pull yourself up to a cow posture. Okay, lifting your big heart, extending your spine as you arch it, and exhale into your child's posture. Let's just do that a few more times. Okay, we're just gonna build a really simple, easy flow here. And you're just moving fluidly and effortlessly at the pace of your breath, not necessarily at my pace, right? At your pace. Feeling this nice wavy movement in your spine. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, flex the spine. Okay, now I want to add another movement here. So next time you're up in your cow posture, your arched spine, up on hands and knees. With your exhale, go ahead and bend your elbows, pull them in by your ribs. See if you could hover your heart just above your thumbs. Think of it as a tiny baby push-up. Inhale, back up to your cow posture, arched spine moves forward. Exhale to your child's. Let's do that again. We just added one movement, okay? So inhale up to cow, hands and knees, arched spine. Exhale, heart floats above your thumbs, tucked elbows. We'll call this chaturanga. Inhale back up to your cow. And exhale to child's. Okay, now let's take this a few more times, just like that. Find your little rhythm. Now notice when we come down, we're putting some nice work into your upper body. So we're getting your shoulders a little warmer. Okay, and if it feels like too much, just don't go down that far. You can just go down maybe to your elbows so that your heart is more level with your elbows rather than down by your thumbs. So feel free to modify that and suit it to your needs. Couple more rounds just like this. Should feel really nice. Think of it nice and fluid. Okay, now I just want to add one more movement to this little flow. So up through your cow posture, just like before, arched spine. Down to your chaturanga, just like before on your exhale. Okay, now check it out. On your inhale, pull your heart up and forward to a cobra, and then exhale back to a child's pose. So we'll do that a few more times. It's okay if you didn't get the first time. Inhale to cow, arched spine. Exhale, chaturanga, stay low. And as you inhale, simply pull your heart up between your arms for a cobra, and exhale back to your child's. So you'll feel your upper body really warming up. Okay, inhale for cow. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's. Nice and easy. Let's take maybe 3 more rounds just like that. Okay, and if your little flow looks a little different from my little flow, awesome. You're modifying. You're doing it on your own, and that's what we want. 2 more. Yoking the breath to the movement. 1 more. Okay, and I'll meet you in that little cobra. And let's just take a few gentle cobras. So with your exhale, instead of going back to child's, go ahead and drop your forehead back to the floor. Keep your elbows in and your palms into your shoulders. And we'll just take a few rounds of cobra. Inhaling, pull back on your hands. Heart moves up and forward. And exhale, set your heart down. So cobra is different for everyone. Okay, and I'm gonna show you kind of like a gentle cobra right now. When I pull back on the mat here, my elbows in, just my heart comes up and I look forward. Okay, Now, it may be that you want a little more. In that case, you'll really point your tailbone at the ground. And as you inhale, you'll just pull a little harder on the mat. And you can lift your whole rib cage and belly up. Just keep the hips grounded, okay? And exhale to bring it down. So just decide what's working best for you today. Inhale, Cobra. And exhale all the way down. Now remember, in your Cobra, never push, always pull forward. Let's do one more just like that. Feel your arms warming up, your strong back warming up. Okay, next time you come down to the mat, tuck your toes and press yourself up and through hands and knees. Find a nice casual down dog, and I'll meet you here. Walking out your heels, shaking out your head. And let's just take a little time just to walk this dog out. Okay, if your arms are a little bit tired from that Cobra, from that flowing we were doing, you can always take it down to hands and knees, and you can still roll your shoulders out and shake your head from here, okay? But in down dog, sometimes it's nice to pedal it out, just to allow the backs of the legs to open up. You can really flex your toes, spread your fingers. And then as you're ready, from your down dog, tiptoe to your hands. See how many tiptoe steps you can take to get to your hands. And then bend those knees, drop your heels, and take a moment to hang. Shake it out. Swaying side to side, maybe bending one knee at a time. So still allowing the backs of the legs to open up. And please make sure that at least your fingertips are on the floor here, and you're allowing your head to hang. You're not trying to hold it up, just let it go. And then find kind of a stable, kind of a neutral place where you can just let your upper body hang. Fingertips or palms in front of your feet. Try rocking your weight forward onto your toes and back onto your heels. Rock it forward. Rock it back. Again, forward and back. And take a few more times, just noticing what it feels like to redistribute the weight between the front and the back of your foot. How do your hamstrings feel? How do your quads feel? What's going on? And then see if you could find a perfect middle ground where all of the weight in each foot is perfectly distributed between front and back. And then get a sense that your arches are a little bit archier than they were before. You're kind of sucking each arch up of each foot a little bit. Okay, feeling very strong and stable in your feet. From here, let's roll it up. So press down into your heels. Inhale, stack yourself. Okay, stacking those vertebrae all the way up top. Reach up with your big heart. Okay, check it out. With your exhale, drop your elbows. We're going to cactus this. Exhale, shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, reach it up again. Exhale, sit down into a chair squat. So drop your hips, pull those knees toward each other and look up. Inhale to bring it all the way up. And exhale here, fold at your hips, hinge all the way down. Perhaps bending your knees, perhaps more extending in the knees. Okay, hang your head, shake it out. Let's do that again. Inhale, press into your feet, roll and stack yourself all the way up. Reaching up tall. Okay, here's another cactus arm. Exhale. So exhale, drive your elbows down, drive your shoulder blades down your back. Feel your heart lift. And inhale back up. With your arms, exhale down into that chair squat, Utkatasana. Knees toward each other, tailbone down, heart up. Inhale to stand, heart up. And exhale, fold. Let it go all the way down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, roll it up. Lift it high. Exhale, cactus arms, drive the shoulder blades down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Utkatasana, drop those hips. Inhale to lift, back up to standing. Exhale to fold. Shake it up. Ooh. On your inhale, come halfway up. Up on your fingertips, try to put some extra weight in your toes as you look forward. And with your exhale, fold very deeply. Hug your legs. Okay, palms are down. Inhale here, step your feet back to a plank. Okay, drop your knees first, and just like we did before, exhale here. Drop your heart just above your thumbs and pull those elbows in. Inhale, just like we did before, to your Cobra, heart up, hips down. This time, exhale all the way back to your downward facing dog. And let's take some breath here. Again, walking it out, shaking it out. Try coming up on the fingertips of your right hand here. So grounding into your strong feet, kind of sucking up your arches, lifting your kneecaps. The right hand turns into a tent. Okay, the fingertips are tented upward. And then see if you could put a lot of extra weight into the left hand. Reach that right hand here for the outer edge of your left knee. Okay, so you've crossed the right hand to the outside of the left knee. If that's feeling okay, see if you could slide that right hand all the way down to your left ankle and hold right here and breathe. Okay, maybe you like this twist and you're gonna look under your left armpit. Okay, nose to your left armpit, maybe even looking at the ceiling under your left armpit and allowing that shoulder blade, that left shoulder blade to slide down your back. Breathe here. Make sure your tailbone is still pointing back away from the top of your head. And if you need to drop to your knees here, you can always do this from your knees. One more big breath here, yogis. And let's bring that right hand back to the floor, grounding a little extra into that right hand. Start to tent up on your left fingertips, okay? Notice how that feels. And then maybe that left hand goes across to the outside of the right knee. Pause here and decide if you want to stay or keep going. And then you can slide that left hand down to the outer edge of the right ankle. And you can pull on it a little bit if you want to, okay? Make sure it feels right. Okay, push that floor away from you. Start to look nose to the right armpit and then all the way under the arm maybe. Breathe. Allow that right shoulder blade to slide down your back. One more big breath in here. And then release that left hand all the way back to the floor. Okay, again, tippy toes. See how long, how many tiptoe steps can you take to your hands? Okay, when you get here, again, bend your knees and just hang your head. Ooh. Shake it up. Ooh. From here, just pick one foot. Okay, we're gonna come long ways on the mat, so you're gonna step sideways. So pick whichever foot makes sense and step one foot toward the back of your mat. Come sideways, okay? And we're gonna start off in a wide leg forward fold here. So arrange yourself so that your feet are about a leg length apart. So when you look at the mat, and your legs, you see kind of an equilateral triangle. It's equal on all sides. Okay, your hands are far enough away from your feet that your spine can be as long as it is, and they're right under your shoulders. So you're nice and aligned here. Let's turn the toes out to face to the side of the mat, and we'll start to bend into one knee, dropping the hips back and in that direction, and then bend into the other knee, dropping the hips back and in that direction. And we'll take that a few times side to side. So just find a little rhythm here. Bend. Make sure that when the knee bends, you think of pointing the knee out towards your pinky toe. And make sure when the hips move, they move not only to the side, but they also move back, very much back, okay? And that's going to keep your spine nice and long. Let's take a few more just like this. Notice if you could rock some weight out of your arches, maybe even try picking up your toes and putting a lot of weight on the outer edge of each foot. All right, coming back to center, pause here, just pop your heels in and your toes out and put some bend in your knees, okay? And then from here, you can grab one thigh with each hand and come up to a horse, a little supported horse posture, we'll call it. So get your heels so they're right under your knees, and your knees really do want to point away from each other here, so that helps to really turn your toes out, really turn your heels in, almost to a ridiculous degree. So kind of play around with that until it feels right. And then with your hands supporting you, you can have a really long spine. So think of kind of the shape that a suspension bridge has. It has these long supportive poles that press down. Okay, your spine is really long and your arms are really long and strong. So you've got a lot of things going on here. We have a nice stretch going on your inner thigh, okay? And of course, the lower you drop your hips, the more you'll get that stretch. And if you want to pick your hips up a little more, it might be a little easier. So feel free to modify that. Okay, but also you can get a nice twist. So take a long breath in here as you lengthen your neck, push into your legs. And as you exhale, drop your left shoulder. Look over your right. Big twist for your spine. Inhale back up into center. And exhale, drop the right shoulder. Look over your left. Okay, now let's do this a few more times. You're just going to move side to side at your own breath pace. Right, inhaling through center, exhaling to drop the other shoulder. Do your best to keep your spine long, okay? And you can use your upper body strength to really press into your legs here, maximizing the distance between your hips and shoulders. You might hear some pops and crackles in your back. And in general, if they feel good, they are. If they feel bad, take a break. Take a break, back it up. Maybe one more time, just like this, on each side, okay? Great massage for your back, your organs. Nice opening for that inner thigh. Okay, when you come back to center, let's get one hand down to the ground under each shoulder. So back where we started, let's turn the toes inward here and extend your knees. So they're no longer bent, they're more extended. And allow your head to drop. The top of your head points at the center of the earth. And let's hold it right here, just breathing. So here in your wide leg forward fold, I want to give you time to really get comfortable. So if you feel like your feet are too far apart, change the distance, okay, and vice versa. Make them wider or not. But do turn the toes inward. Do lift your arches and rock into the outer edge of your foot and strengthen those legs. So engage each leg inward toward the hip socket. We want activity. If the top of your head touches the floor, take your feet a little wider. And if you enjoy this, if your head is hanging really low and you're starting to look all the way behind you, you can walk your hands even further back between your feet. Fingers point in the same direction as your toes, okay? And you can use the floor to kind of pull on the floor and pull your forehead, the top of your head. You can pull the top of your head a little closer to the ground, but no pain, no strain. Okay, Prasarita Padottanasana. So this is called an intense stretch of the western side of the body. That's what in yoga talk, the western side is the back side. So all the way from the backs of your legs, your heels, up through your glutes, your whole back is getting a great stretch. One more big breath here in your Prasarita. And then walk yourself back, up, hands walk back underneath your shoulders. And then we're gonna come back short ways on the mat. So walk your hands back toward the front of your space, okay? Whatever foot you stepped back, step it forward again. And I'll meet you back up here. I want to transition into a squat now. So take your feet a bit more than hip width. Turn your toes a bit out and start to drop your hips. You can take it really slow. There's really no rush at all. So come down with those hips. Your head will come up as your hips come down, and I'll turn a little bit just so you can see what we're doing here. And put your palms together if you can. You can always keep them down if you need to. But we want to use your elbows to kind of press your knees apart. And then put some activity into your legs, just a little bit. Nice breath. Okay, you want to go for your longest spine here. And we'll just play a little bit with this shape. So you can stay here, you can back out, you can even just sit down on your hips and take a break if you need to. But see if you could hook your right armpit and your right shoulder in front of your right knee and reach that right hand out very far away from you and just grab the floor. If that feels pretty good, try reaching up with your left hand, making a big chest. Okay, breathe into your spacious chest and keep resisting the floor with your legs, just enough. Okay, if this is going well, you can reach the right hand behind and around to crook it behind your knee and pat yourself on the kidney. If that works well, that left hand can come behind your back and grab the right. So you might grab your hands today, you might not, it really doesn't matter. But no matter where you are, press into those feet. If you got the knee, squeeze it tight and look up over that left shoulder. One more big breath here, yogis. And allow yourself to come out slowly without exploding, okay? And if you guessed we are going to switch sides, you are correct. See if you could tuck the left shoulder in front of the left knee and extend that left arm out. Grab the floor with your hand. Reach up with the right. Continue to press into the floor and look up at the right hand. Stay here, back it up, or crook the left arm behind and touch your back. Right hand can look for its friend. Maybe you grab your hand, maybe not. But look up over that right shoulder and push down into your legs. One more big breath here in your Malasana squat. All right, we're gonna come out slowly, hands down in front. From here, Reach your hands out away from you and just drop your head. Let your head hang. Notice how your low back feels about this. All right, you can start walking your hands back in by your hips. And from here, see if you could just sit back onto your hips and shake out your legs. Oh, shake them out. So great release for your hips, okay? Nice massage for all the tissues that surround your hips, your low back, your spine gets a great neutralizing there. Malasana, such a powerful posture. All right, from here, legs out in front. Let's take this right foot and just pull it in. Go ahead and plant it by your hips. And you can use both arms just to hold your right leg close. Do your best to sit up nice and tall. And remember to put some resistance into your legs. So the legs are not asleep, they're not passive. Your kneecaps are active, your ankles are active, your legs are pushing down into the floor. And then you can get that left arm, give that arm the job of holding the right leg, right fingers on the floor behind you, okay? Push the floor to make your spine extra long. And we'll spend some time just twisting here. So think of long spine on your inhale. On your exhale, think of twisting to look over that right shoulder. Remember, use your belly as you breathe. Buddha belly, inhale. Strong belly, exhale. If you want to deepen this twist, you can take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and move a little more deeply. But remember to keep the hips grounded. One more big breath here. And let's let it go, okay? Coming back around, just push that right knee to the floor, okay? Drop the right hand on the floor under your right shoulder and drop that left foot to the floor. And let's press it up to a little supported side plank, okay? So once you come up, you might want to move that right knee so it's more under your right hip, okay? So it's just more ideal, more supportive. Take your time fidgeting into place, and let's reach that left hand all the way up overhead. Think of reaching as far as you can from your left foot. And take some nice breath into that whole left side of your body. Remember to keep your tailbone pointing at your left toes, your belly button a little bit tucked in, and your neck long. Maybe one more really big breath in to that left side here. Maybe you push the floor a little more with the right side. And exhale. Allow the hips to come all the way down. Okay, so hopefully you landed so that you can have that right foot and step it on the left inner thigh. And we'll just turn this into a little fold. So ground your fingertips, one hand on either side of the left leg. Remember to keep your legs active, pushing into the floor. And with your inhale, cultivate your longest spine ever. With your exhale, move your heart towards your left toes and also flex the left ankle so the left toes are moving towards your heart as well. Okay. Just pause where your spine starts to round, and we'll just stay here and breathe. With each inhale, could you get a little longer in your spine? With each exhale, ground your hip bones even more. See if that allows you to release and fold more easily. Rather than thinking of getting that heart up there, just lengthen spine. Inhale. Ground hips. Exhale. You might come down to your elbows. Okay, you might even want to drop your head. And even if your spine rounds, just keep it as long as you can. Nice breath. And maybe one more nice long breath here in this forward fold. Okay, bringing space and blood flow to your low back, the backs of your legs, your glutes, your upper back. And then you can use your fingers to press yourself back up and out of this. And then we'll just switch sides and we'll do all this on the other side. So you can extend the right leg now and bring the left foot in, step it down by your hips and start to hug your left knee in toward you. Okay. So I'll turn a little bit so I won't have to face away from you. Okay, do your best to sit up tall and remember to ground into your hips. Okay, whenever you think about it, ground and push down a little bit against the earth. And then when you're ready, give the right arm the job of holding the left leg. And the left fingers behind you on the floor have the job of making you a little taller. And we can begin to twist and look over that left shoulder here. So I like to think of long spine. Inhale. Strong belly. Exhale. And the more we use and we cultivate that strength of the belly muscles, the happier the low back is, the happier your posture, your digestion. Okay, this is the seat of your confidence. So we always are cultivating that belly strength. Okay, we want to deepen the twist perhaps. We take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Notice all the space opening up all around your rib cage. Maybe one more big breath in right here. And then release yourself. Untwist. Okay, push the left knee to the floor. Left hand on the floor, under your shoulder. Right foot on the floor. And start to press yourself up. Supported side plank. Okay, make sure we move the left knee so that it's more supportive. It's under the left hip. It's more, just more stable. Okay, and then we'll get that right hand all the way up and over. Think of reaching away from your right foot. However, keep your neck. Okay, don't lose your neck. If you really ground the outer right foot, it feels nice in your ankle. Remember to point your tailbone at your right foot and engage your belly button inward to keep your low back from just absorbing all of this. Big breath into the right side. Feel your low back, your ribs, your armpit. And if you want a little more opening in the right side, try pushing the floor a little more with your left. Notice how that feels. Perhaps one more big breath in here, supported side plank. And exhale, spin your hips back down to the ground. Okay, perhaps you landed so that you can just step that left foot on the inner right thigh, and we'll turn this into a fold. We've just naturally arrived here. So fingertips down, one hand on either side of the right leg. Remember, resist the floor at least a little. Okay, long spine, inhale. Flex that right ankle, and exhale, move your heart towards that right big toe. Okay, I just want you to pause where you feel your spine starting to round. That's where you want to stay. And then just focus on long spine, inhale. Exhale and ground your hips a little more. Okay, give this posture time. Okay, this is one of those yoga magic postures where we just let the posture do the magic. And we just have to be and let go. Maybe your elbows are coming down. Who knows? Feel free to drop your head. But if you drop your head, please pair that with a long neck. Right, maybe one more nice, long, slow breath here in your fold. And start to use your fingertips to press yourself back up to a seat. Okay, go ahead and lengthen both legs now. Let's see if we could roll back in slow motion. So we're going to call in some core control, okay? Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but tuck your tailbone and point it a little bit at your toes. Feel that your belly button is rolling back. Feel your strong core. If you reach forward, how slowly could you roll your spine down? I like to try to take 3 breaths to come all the way down. When you finally unroll and reach the floor, take a moment to flatten your shoulder blades and kind of tuck them underneath your back. Allow your body to really relax here. Let go of any control, any effort, any sense of doing or undoing. Let your breath run wild and free. No longer harnessing or regulating or lengthening. We're just letting the breath be now. And this is a beautiful moment in the yoga practice where you get to let go after having spent an hour training your body in certain patterns, okay? But now you get to let go and notice and observe the effects of your practice on your body, okay? Compare your new, natural, unregulated breath with the natural, unregulated breath of an hour ago. Notice everything about it. Is it smoother? Is it more complete? Is it warmer? Is it easier? And likewise, compare this natural, soft, unregulated, effortless body with the effortlessness that you experienced at the beginning of our practice about an hour ago. What do you notice? Every little sensation that you notice, study it intently. And the same with your thoughts. Let the thoughts do what they will without controlling them. Just observe. The way you observe beautiful clouds or running water in nature. Just enjoy this moment. Notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And allow any remaining shreds of tension to just melt out of your body, down into the earth. Allow your eyes to focus outward into infinite space. Your tongue, your jaw, your teeth are soft. And my friends, please give yourself as much time as you can just to rest here. Enjoy this moment. Let your body soak up the glitter of your practice. This is where I'll leave you today. Thanks so much for joining me and practicing with me. Taking good care of yourself.